Tuesday night, and once again, that is another episodes of Goal Horns and Fight Songs. I am Mike, and with me again is Wes. At Merrill4 on Twitter. Wes is at Painted Bronco, and another another interesting weekend in a sense for the NCHC.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting to the point where everyone's got to show up and show out. Some teams struggled a little bit this weekend. Some results were a little bit surprising, some not so much. But I think all the teams that we kind of expected, I think the results were kind of what we expected, other than maybe the big matchup of St. Cloud Denver.
Yeah, I think we all well, more so Friday night's game than Saturday night's game. But yeah, I think there weren't too many surprises when we talked about these games last week with what happened with our favorite teams and then everyone else's favorite teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would almost go the other way with the St. Cloud Denver series. That was a big win for St. Cloud on Friday, the 7-3 win. I don't know that really anyone was expecting them to put up that many goals on Magnus. But or that there wasn't really much of a response from Denver in Saturday. St. Cloud comes away with the sweep. They move up to the number one team in the country. Honestly, kind of a well-deserved spot there. However, I will say it's a dangerous spot to be in. We do see that spot not having a whole lot of success defending that spot in the weeks after being named to that spot. Yeah, but it might be a safe place for St. Cloud this weekend with their opponent that they're facing that we'll talk about later in the show when we get to this weekend's matchups.
Yeah, usually start of the year, maybe in some of the weaker non-conference, the number one team is safe, but definitely hasn't been the safest place for more than about 2 weeks in a row. Then you're kind of getting in a little trouble.
Yeah, it definitely has not been. It's bounced around through quite a few teams this year. Um, Denver, I believe, had it for a good bit. It's back in the NCHC standings with St. Cloud taking it over. But again, I don't know how long that'll last. You never want to overlook the team in front of you, and anyone can shock anybody. They have a big rivalry game coming up this weekend. Can they hold on to it? Can Minnesota Duluth get something going here? They split with North Dakota. Really, it was a 3-2 game. I think they got the empty net goal Friday to make it 4-2. I think.
Yes,
I
they
don't
did.
remember. But
Yes, I believe they did.
two teams just struggling. I actually have some high effort plays from this game that we'll go over. I got one queued up here for Denver that I want to look at. But every series was pretty good. I mean, I think the one that may be slightly surprising is the fact that Western swept Colorado College, putting up 8 goals on the weekend, only allowing 2. And then a lot of people were expecting that goalie matchup to maybe go the other way, but Cameron Rowe's been on a pretty good stretch here since the start of the GLI. He's got 6 wins in a row. Really only one game where he got kind of smacked, and that was the North Dakota game last weekend after shutting him out on the Friday game. But a lot of that, I don't know that you can really blame on Cameron last week for the 6 goals that he gave up to North Dakota when we couldn't stay out of the box, and their power play was running really well, and we saw that again this weekend. That if there is a bright spot to North Dakota, it is that power play, and if you're their opponent, you got to stay out of that box.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're one of the top power plays in the country for a reason, and that's just might be the only thing that they have going well for them. Like you said, it is a bright spot, but if you can draw penalties, then you can score goals. You just have to be able to stop the other team.
Yeah. And Miami did something this week that they didn't do last week. They scored a goal. One,
Yay! Yay for Miami!
one goal, but they scored a goal. Unfortunately, they only scored one all weekend. They have now been shut out in 3 out of 4 games. Man, that team is just struggling, and I don't really know what else to say about them. So Omaha takes the sweep there. They pick up 6 big points. They're now third in the conference standings, 2 ahead of their opponent this weekend in Western Michigan. St. Cloud is able to at least make it a tie for now with Denver after their sweep. And the bottom of the standings are pretty close too. Duluth's only a point ahead of North Dakota. I believe they kind of kept that the same, earning the split. Miami's down there in 8th place with only 7 points in the season. They've got some work to do.
Yes.
But hey,
Yes,
as we mentioned last week, you only have to win 8 games to win a national title. You got to win 7 to 8 of them in a row, but you only got to win 8 games, right?
yeah, but you also got to score more than one goal in 4 games.
You're not wrong. They're currently at 21 goals in conference play while giving up 60. So not looking good for their offense. They are at a 1-3 goals against ratio.
Do not follow the Chicago Blackhawks motto of one goal.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what they're going off of right now.
They are struggling. But let's get into some plays here. I need to switch to. Let me do it over here. Nope. We'll go here first. It's fine. There. Yeah, that works. All right.
Yes, that does.
Go away. No, why did you come further down? Go away. I need you to go away.
Okay, fine. You can do this by yourself.
Not. Why are you there? Please. Well, that's not what I wanted. Come back. I need. Yeah, okay. You know what? Good enough.
It's good enough.
So, really, what I want to focus on here is just how well Denver cycles the puck and maintains zone pressure, and then gets guys to the net. I think that's a big thing that we're seeing a lot of these goals scored when guys get in front of the net and take goalies' eyes away, and Denver does a great job of it here. Number 4, Jack Devine, I believe it's Jack, does a great job of never giving up on the play, never taking himself out of the play, and actually gets to the front of the net, and he'll be the one who capitalizes on tipping the puck past. I believe this one is.
I think
it looks like it might be Bassey. It looks like it's 31.
Yeah, and I will say before we go, the one thing that I focused on when I saw this compared to some of the other clips that we're going to show is how well St. Cloud actually defends this one man on man. It just it ends up being a tough goal to give up, just a tough goal in general. But Denver has that good cycle, but St. Cloud is defending them very, very well on that cycle.
Yeah, it's just a high effort shift here on both teams. So St. Cloud actually wins the initial face-off. They just don't clear the puck, and they kind of win it forward, and he doesn't have an opportunity to clear the puck. But, I mean, it's already... Look how many guys are operating on the puck. You got 3 guys trying to all maintain the puck. But Denver's also trying to keep it in, and it will get back to the blue liner here. He'll end up keeping it in. So they cycle it down low. 2 guys battling for possession. Devine comes away with it, sends it back up to the point. Yeah, there's really not a lot of space to operate, but it's a lot of chasing and clearing space. And even there up by the goaltender, you've got... Stop it. You got man on man, and there's just no real room. They don't... I mean, somehow they end up making space, but St. Cloud is not giving them real estate easily. And in fact,
right,
it's almost it's almost the St. Cloud State who kind of screens his own goalie a little bit.
Yeah, I think it ends up being a little bit of a tip.
Devine definitely gets the tip on this one because it's going to come. They're just throwing pucks out in the net, but here it's 2 guys that are just circling up together. No one's really giving anybody any space. They're battling there. Puck goes towards the net, and Devine just kind of tips it up and over the shoulder of the goaltender. This one is the first North Dakota goal on the power play. Once again, this power play. If you let them operate, they're gonna hurt you. Here's another great example of it. Duluth's not really putting a lot of neutral zone pressure, and
No.
North Dakota has a pretty easy job of getting into the zone. Duluth kind of gets caught out of position a little bit. They do end up setting up the defense somewhat here, but I mean it's really just really good puck movement by North Dakota. Looking for that open shot, two guys in front of the net to tip it home.
And I'm trying to see who that is. Um,
Which one?
who's number 10 coming around in the middle, number 10 coming around. He turns his back on the whole play. If you go back just a little, like couple seconds, he's coming in there and he
16 here.
complete oh 16. That's I couldn't quite see. But he turns the complete wrong way. Well, now you can't see the puck, first of all, and you're going the longer path to try and get around. And that's what North Dakota does. They get you discombobulated and just not being able to see where the puck is. They have you moving, and it is just poor defense. And
Yeah,
again, you look at the North Dakota player standing out
yeah.
in front of Stay Skull
Here
wide
he
open.
here he starts moving this way and kind of giving number 7 here. I think his what he's trying to do is he's trying to get back this to this side, but he
Hmm.
doesn't play the lane well, and he gives up on number 7 here. And 7, I think, is going to be the one who ends up getting the tip as he moves in front of the net, and they end up with two guys. Yes, he's already kind of trailing off. And number 15 is out here by himself, just ready to accept the pass. He's going to throw it back to the front of the net. And yeah, 17. I believe it's Gaber there. Just tips it right past Stay Skull, I believe, is who you had in net.
Yeah, it was Stay Skull and Gaber did have that. And
But
yeah, the I think the rule in sports that have passing, so basketball and hockey, you never want to have your back to the play.
no.
And so on that, he turned to his left and the puck was going to his right. Well, then automatically you can't explode over to try and intercept that pass or try and go up top. And it's just been a common theme all year.
Here's another one. I think this one's 5-on-5, but another
Yes.
great play by North Dakota. Another high effort play. Here they're puck battling. The puck gets loose. Oh no, this one.
This is
Okay, so I don't. Yes, this ends up in a North Dakota goal, but that was actually not the point of this clip. Keep an eye on number 16 for North Dakota or North Minnesota Duluth here. The effort this dude puts into this play is absolutely unreal. And again, unfortunately, it ends up in a North Dakota goal, but he legit sells out on this shift and deserves some kind of recognition for putting it out there. He's
I
gonna
think that's I think that's Luke Lowhite, I think.
he is going to absolutely eat this puck on the shins from number 10, who's sitting dead slot waiting to rip this one timer. Boom, right there, right off the kind of the heel-ish ankle spot on the boot. Goes down, gets up, tries to chase the puck, keep an eye on number 10. 10 gets loose, he ends up putting it 5-hole. But so it does end up being a North Dakota goal, but I mean just a freaking effort by this kid
Yeah, and
to even attempt to make a play.
that is Luke Lowhite, and he's one of our seniors, so he knows what it takes to win hockey games. Even if it doesn't result, he's gonna put an effort. And I am kind of terrible at knowing our players and numbers, but especially because we have one of the youngest teams. But he's one that you can even tell he's hurting right there.
Oh yeah, he's hurting this whole way back to the bench.
He's not having a good time.
This one is the Duluth goal from Friday night. I think this is the last play for this game. But again, another high energy play. Duluth is having a little bit of trouble getting through the neutral zone. They do fight through it. It takes them a couple opportunities here. I think they just narrowly avoid a too many men penalty. Like
Yeah, right
right
here
there.
because then it's Quinn Olson. I think steps up and hits him. Of course, he got the worst of that hit.
But they get the puck in. Well, oh yeah, here's what I really want to pay attention to. Number 2. Watch number 2. He's going to rip this shot and he's just going to follow the puck, follow a shot and get his rebound and tuck his rebound.
Yeah, it's
Excellent job
Darian.
staying with the play. He gets 2 incredible shots off on this too.
Actually, is that 20? Is it 2 or is it 24?
Could be 24. Let's see if we can figure it out. 24.
24. I was gonna say that's
Benton?
not Darian. Yeah, Kyle Bettens, one of our freshmen.
Yeah. I mean, just an
Yeah,
absolute
and
ripper
that's
above the dot and then just follows it through and gets the big rebound from DeRuyter and buries it past him.
I think that's Bettens' second goal in 2 weekends. He scored in the first weekend, and then he hasn't scored since until the Omaha series.
We're going to run through this one because I don't remember exactly what I wanted to focus on this play. There were a lot of plays to look at. Oh yeah. This is all right. I don't understand what the hell is going on here in front of the net. Please watch in front of Corona. These two right here. Just watch the leg wrestling that's going on over here. And the fact that neither one of them gets called for holding or
Tripping or interference or
tripping, interference, embellishment, any gambit of penalties. Like, what is happening here?
he's definitely holding his leg in between. What is?
Then a little cross check there on the ground, and somehow he ends up scoring the goal. Like, just the shenanigans that these refs are allowing to take place right here, absolutely asinine.
I think you could have. Oh man, there's about 6 or 7
A cross
penalties
check there, and like I said,
because
somehow St. Cloud keeps control of the puck. Oh no, number 20 gets the goal there. But Jesus Christ.
I think you could have given tripping or interference to the Denver defenseman. You could have given
Tripping,
tripping and holding and
holding, and
cross
cross
checking.
checking to St.
Might as well
Cloud.
throw in the old giving her the business to both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, what in? And you're
Offsetting,
looking right at it.
take him back to center ice and drop it 4-on-4. This one is right at the start of the second period. I believe the score was still 0-0 up until this point. This stupid bar is in my way, and I don't remember how to get rid of it. It wasn't here before. Oh, we'll just do that.
Bar.
I got it. It's fine. My share screen bar. It's right at the start of the second period. Colorado College still has a little bit of time to kill off on their penalty, and Western just does a great job of taking this puck right down the ice and beating Emberko with it. They circle back into their own zone. Couple clean, quick passes. Tic-tac-toe, straight. There, they get the rebound back. No, this one's the long one. Never mind. This is a long shift. Watch, Western gets a lot of opportunities here. They're constantly chasing the puck. The puck never leaves the zone, and it's just high energy, high effort play, and turning something into more than one opportunity. That's at least like their third shot already. Circle the puck back up. That almost could have been offside, but the ref had a really good eye on it.
And actually, that second save by Umberko was a hell of a save.
Here comes, they just kind of played away from each other. And then McAllister just walks in and rips one right from the dot.
And I think that might have been the easiest shot that Umberko had in that whole sequence. But I just picture him like when we're playing Chell together, guys, and I'm in the net like, please get the puck away from me, please clear it.
But we're gonna watch this one again. As soon as Western gets in the zone, it's
and when they get in the zone,
okay, here's the first shot.
Look how many Colorado College players are below the face-off dot.
I mean,
I'm very surprised
they have
that they didn't score off that.
All 4 players are in the center of the ice as Western crosses the blue line. There's no actual pressure on McAllister as he brings the puck in on the far side. Sassen's got a guy on him. Poland's got some open ice in front of him. You've got one guy back skating. The other 3 are chasing the puck, and no one's really in a good position to prevent this entry. And then it's a quick pass to Sassen. Sassen makes a quick pass, or does he shoot? He shoots kind of an easy shot, maybe looking for a little bit of a rebound. I think if there's a play to be made potentially under 37 stick, like a pass here to Poland, and Poland has the backside and he might score here. But that might be something that they run often enough to where you're trying to take that away. Like 37 does a decent job of taking away this passing lane, but
Hmm.
I think there's still a play that could be made here that would lead to a goal from Poland. Can I do this? Right here. I mean, just straight up this side. Even though Umberco is kind of looking, peeking his way a little bit, I think that there was an opportunity there. But again, Western does this great job. Stop it. I don't want that anymore.
We have just given you the power of a telestrator.
Well, yeah. Western does a great job tracking down the rebound, moving the
Right
puck.
there, though. Right there. Look at how many guys.
Oh, yeah, they're all chasing. There's
They're
two,
they're all. I mean, they're
all
all
below
below
the
the
dots.
circle.
Yeah.
Their highest guy, I think, is even with the bottom of the circle.
Puck goes from high to low really quickly. There's one, a little bit missed. Two, back up top. Shot three, chasing the puck, getting it back up top, keeping it in. Little pass, little couple tips that don't make it all the way to the goalie. And really finally on the fourth shot on net, it beats Umberco and giving McAllister that much space and time, he's bound to beat you. Okay, this is a really quick clip after this one ends, so I need to figure out how to. Okay, yep, no, stop it. They didn't cut this one just right. Colorado is able to capitalize on a big mistake by the Western player. Instead of sending it up around the boards, which I think is where he should have gone. Give me that. Give me that. Yes. Okay, here we go. Real telestrator action. Ready? He should go this way with the puck. I think where he should. That would be the safest place. You know, there's empty ice. You're avoiding the people. You know that all the traffic is coming from behind you, but instead he goes this way with the puck, and it goes right to 26 stick, and he doesn't even really. I mean, he settles it and then puts it right over Cameron Rowe's shoulder. Cameron has no chance on this play, and just incredible heads up play by Colorado. I mean, you can't beat that pass with a baseball bat. Right there in the deadliest spot on the ice.
And first Weiler's probably just livid because that is one of the first things that you're taught in youth hockey. Never pass it in front of your own net. You
Yeah,
see
because
NHLers do it sometimes and they get away with it a lot, but sometimes they don't.
and
This
you
is the perfect example.
and you can. I mean, maybe his intent is to pass it to. I believe that's 23, Karen Berger right there. But
Yeah.
you can see that he is not there. You're both skating forward. Just send that around the net. Chances are, if you don't even have to pass it that hard around the net. You send it. Stop it. If you send it this way around the boards, he has an opportunity to potentially cut the puck off here, right?
Yeah, and then you
And you're
have
still in possession. And then if you need to, you can send it further around to get it out of the zone. But
yeah, I was gonna say whoever your forward is over here, I can't read the number, but they can come up and he can just send it here, and then boom, you have your breakout coming out the top.
instead, he sends the puck this way, and it's red because it's the no-no zone, and it settles right here, right in the most dangerous zone in the offensive, right in the most dangerous spot in the offensive zone, and guess where it ends up? Right in the back of the net. Clear that. I'm having way too much fun now, but and Rowe literally has no chance on that. It's just honestly, it's an incredible assist from the Western player to find the open skater on the ice. Too bad he's wearing the wrong jersey. And then here we go, the last play of the Friday night games. Omaha versus Miami. Miami hasn't scored in almost 7 periods. They do get one here, and it's a full effort play. I believe 13's going to make a play. Yep, he bodies the puck loose, brings it all the way around, and just throws the puck on net, and it ends up in the back of the net. I don't know. Stop it. If it's tipped here or not. Try and find out right here. Or if he just puts this in the most ridiculous spot. Oh, it does. I think it does get tipped.
Yeah, I think
I
it
think it.
does
I think
look.
it hits this player.
I think
Look
so
here.
too.
Yeah, because there's the puck right there. Very hard to see, but it hits like the shaft of the stick right between his hands and goes in.
He's like, "Hey, I scored! Look, mom,
But I mean,
I did the thing."
a great effort here by 13 to make a play behind the net, to get to some open ice, and then just to throw the puck on net. It ends up in a goal for them and a tie game for the moment. Let's go to our other clips if I can get to the right spot here. Don't start before I want you to. All right. This one is Saturday, North Dakota versus Minnesota Duluth. We're going to run through it real quick. I don't remember whose goal this is. I think it's. Oh, no. Yep. Okay. We saw this last week. I think this is a power play for Duluth. But we saw this problem last weekend with North Dakota. Yep. Come back. Where'd you go? Don't do that to me. Okay. Nope. Stop it. Hey, come on. Why are you being dumb now? You just let me do it. Hey, you. Stop it. All right. Okay, I don't know why it's doing this now. It's being dumb. But either way, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 North Dakota players
Yep.
below the circles again. The puck is below the goal line. But what they don't see is whoever this is. I can't tell if it's 3 or 33. He just stops. Literally watch him. He just stops skating right in front of the goaltender. Kind of similar to that Colorado play. Like he's in the deadliest spot in the offensive zone. And they just leave their goalie out to dry.
His controller died. You can't blame him.
He's just stops in the most perfect spot. All eyes are back here on the puck. No one sees this guy. I mean, he kind of sees him, and he's trying to get to him. But number 3 does a great job of just moving a little bit to make sure that he can't get there in time, and then just roofs it against the green on the goaltender. Boom, under the crossbar.
Just a beautiful shot.
Beautiful shot. They don't keep the lead very long. I believe this is North Dakota's goal here. Excellent play defensively, right in the zone, cutting off passing lanes. But right on his tape, he's takes the puck down the ice, has a shot, wrist just absolutely takes it. Because the one thing that I will say that the Duluth player did, number 5 here, he does a really good job of cutting off the passing lane. I mean, you've got 2 guys kind of keeping the puck away from 22 here for North Dakota, but just an
Mm-hmm.
incredible shot from just north of the face-off dot. Glove side, beats
I, I
Fanti.
think I think Wyatt Kaiser could have probably pushed him a little further, especially knowing that I think that's probably low height again is coming back to help and cut off the pass. So he really wouldn't have had an option. But either way, um, I think he did a pretty nice job. I think it just might have thrown off Thiessen a little bit having that stick there. Like, okay, what is he gonna do? But it should have given him less options to where the shot was going. So it pretty much was a great shot. I don't know how you can defend that much better.
Once again, we see a Western uh, turnover end up in the back of our own net. Just a bad pass here. Great heads up play by Colorado College to come away with the puck, holding the boards here. Is 19? Is it 19? We're gonna say it's 19. He does a great job getting to the wall, holding the boards. Puck comes to him, finds number 27 back in that dangerous spot, kind of between the hash mark area, and another great shot to beat Cameron Rowe to give the Tigers a lead for a short period of time. I need to back this one up. Doesn't last long as Western's able to tie the game, and then they take a lead late in the first period on a great effort here in on the forecheck. Tim's gonna make a play here at the blue line to separate the player from the puck. The puck actually stays in the offensive zone. Cole Gallant picks it up, finds him back door, and he just tucks it right past Umberto to give the Western the 2-goal lead, or the 2-1 lead. It ends up going down as the game winner as they win this game 4-1. Similar result to the Friday game. And just smart, heavy hockey. Great play. Check it out once again. It's a smart, disciplined play. He does a great job here with his stick, cutting off the lane here, and somehow it's really just kind of fortuitous that the puck stops and stays in the zone. Like, the puck never leaves the zone. He picks it up right at the blue line. It stays there. Cole comes back. He hustles back into the zone. Great pass. Just redirects it to the net, and it's a goal.
Yeah, it was a great pass. And I think, there really wasn't a whole lot Colorado College could have done better on that as far as defensively. They kind of got hung out to dry a little bit just with that puck and the momentum. They're still skating up the ice, and Western's already turned back around, and they have to change that to catch up. So a little bit unlucky by them, but they still played pretty good defense on a tough play.
Yeah. Just the effort to make the play at the blue line. Somehow the puck stays in, pick it up, and then go and get in front of the net. So great weekend there for Western and the boys. Some plays from other games. We did get most of the game series in there. If there's a play that anyone sees and they want to let us know about, and we can maybe discuss it, just hit us up on the Twitters, the Gmail, anywhere. Leave a comment in a video. I'll find it. We'll try and get the clip and see what there is to say about it. But I definitely want to make that more of a part of the show as we move forward. And I think it brings a lot to what we're doing here. So we're always trying to improve and get better. Let's look at the weekend ahead. I believe is the next part of the show. Actually, before we do that, let's look at our players of the week. Open one more stupid tab here. Why not? Because how many tabs do I need? All of them. I need all of them. All the tabs.
Yeah, I know. Omaha, I can't remember his name.
Jacob
They had a
Gavin
player.
is the defenseman of the week.
Yes, he was the defenseman of the week.
St. Cloud State has 2 players of the week: forward Jamie Cranola and rookie Jake Rogers. And goaltender of the week is Cameron Rowe, allowing 2 goals, picking up 6 points on the weekend. You could say that maybe you want to give it to Omaha's goalie because he did have the shutout and 2 wins, only allowed 1 goal on the weekend. I would say that Cameron Rowe had tougher competition to do what he did.
Yeah, I don't think there's.
Maybe you can't really make a case for St. Cloud because they run 2 goalies every week.
Yeah, I don't see.
It's Cameron Rowe. He deserves it.
Yeah. There's no argument for anyone else, and no offense to the Omaha goalie. You played Miami.
Yeah.
And I'm not sitting here saying like I could do any better. There's a reason they're Division 1 goalies and my fat ass is sitting here. And I never played Division 1 sports, but just the level of competition was so much better, especially with where they're standing right now.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think that wraps up everything for last week. There were some plays, top plays. Actually, a few of them made our list as well. So go check those out. Hobie Baker fan voting is open. You can do that once a day. There are quite a few nominees from the NCHC. In fact, let's check those out right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, in fact, nominees from the NCHC. Dylan Anhorn. Actually, there is Dylan Anhorn news. I believe he is injured. Um,
Yes.
he is going to opt for surgery, and he'll be out for the rest of the season for St. Cloud State. That's a big hit to their blue line. He's been playing really well. I know they were excited to pick him up in the transfer portal. Big loss there. That
Yeah,
will
and
probably
um,
hurt his Hobie Baker nomination a little bit, I would say.
it was, from what I read, it was unfortunate and pre-game stretching, and the trainer came into Coach Larson's office and said, "You got to come out here. It's bad."
Eek,
And that's, you never
never
want to
good.
hear that as a coach, especially in just off ice warm-ups. And I a little sidebar. I get a little worried watching those guys play soccer in the NHL and college when you see the pregame. I'm like, don't hurt yourself. I know it helps you warm up, but you guys are competitors. You're athletes. You want to win the game. You're gonna just end up doing something to hurt yourself. And I don't want to see that happen. It makes me nervous every time they show those warm up videos.
And I think there's certain injuries that if it's going to go, it's going to go. It's just a matter of when. And
Hmm.
I'd probably rather have it go during a warm up if we're being honest, because I'm not hurting my team as much. I think it's more impactful or more devastating to the player if the injury happens in the course of the game and they have to come out and they feel like they're letting their teammates down, as opposed to at warm ups or in practice. I think those kind of injuries are easier to get over a little bit.
They are, and especially in warm ups that early, the off ice warm ups, um, you can you can as a coach, you're like, well, this really sucks, but at least we can go to some of the other guys that were going to be healthy scratches or whatever the case may be and say, hey, I know this is a little short notice, but it's not like you have to come play right now. Like, we can maybe replace him because our lineup card isn't in.
Yeah. Uh, Also on this Hobie Baker nominees list, Mike Benning, defenseman for Denver, Grant Cruikshank, forward for St. Cloud State, formerly of Colorado College, somewhere else in between. I think
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Yeah, I was gonna say
Yep,
I think
he
Minnesota.
spent 1 year at Minnesota.
Forward Reese Gaber from North Dakota. Forward Dominic James from Minnesota Duluth, sophomore, I believe.
I
Chris
believe so. Yes.
Chris Jandrick, defenseman, North Dakota. Wyatt Kaiser, defenseman, Minnesota Duluth. I don't know how well the Hobie Baker is going to look at guys being given some game misconducts for, I don't know, swinging sticks at people's faces.
I feel bad picking on Wyatt every week, but it's so funny. I like
It was a
it.
two-handed lumberjack swing. All right.
It's it's. I mean, it's not funny that he did it, but it's still funny how he did it.
Uh,
I don't know. I think you should win it just for that.
I think
Or
that hurt.
if
That
there's
might
like,
hurt his case a smidge. All right, just a little bit.
or if there's a Razzie Award that equivalent for the Hobie Baker, maybe he wins that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It'd be between him and is it Tyler Clevin from North Dakota, who has
Yeah,
two
yeah.
two game misconducts. Also, Tim Washi might be added to that list of players with multiple game misconducts this year. Uh, Forward Jamie Cranola, St. Cloud State. Sophomore Carter Mazier, forward for Denver, also played at I believe he played in the World Juniors this year with Team USA, or maybe he did last year. Maybe he didn't this year.
I don't think he did this year. I know he did last year.
Caden Empirico has having a great freshman season in net for Colorado College, has them looking pretty good. They need to pick up their defense a little bit more, give him a little bit more support, especially as we get down the stretch and games get tougher and tougher here. Freshman forward NCAA point leader, NCAA assist leader Ryan McAllister from Western Michigan. Nation leading power play goal scorer, forward for Colorado College Hunter McCown. Ty Mueller, forward for Omaha. The nation's leading goal scorer, senior forward for Western Michigan University, Jason Poland. Forward for Omaha, Jack Randall. Massimo Rizzo, forward for Denver. Sophomore, first line center. I believe in the top 10 in points on that incredible first line for Western Michigan, Max Sasson. And the final nominee for the Hobart Baker from the NCHC, forward Ben Steeves, Minnesota Duluth. Can you tell which teams I follow and which ones I don't? Is there any indication there? Honestly,
Maybe a little.
that's an incredible list. Um, a relative all-star roster that if you literally had all those players on one team, that would be a hell of a team to go up against, and one that honestly could be capable of a national title by themselves.
I think it would be, and this is
Little
just
forward heavy. Might need an extra defenseman or an extra goaltender here and there, but
this would be just a complete, you know, this would make college hockey way too gimmicky and everything, but I think it would be fun to just do an all-star team from each conference because are there 6 conferences? Um,
5,
there's 5 or 6 because
6.
there's
Hockey East, ECAC,
CAC,
Atlantic, Big Ten,
10,
NCHC,
NCHC, CCHA.
CCHA. That's
So there's
6.
6.
Is there anything plus independent? But I think is there another one on the East Coast?
No, there's just the ECAC, the Hockey East, and Atlantic.
Then yeah, I think there's 6.
6. So I think it'd be fun to put a tournament together of the best players from each conference and then go at it and just kind of, oh, who had the best conference this year? Who had the, but that would get too gimmicky. It's just more of a fan
Well,
perspective, and
I was wondering about that because I mean, I guess the only sport that really has a all team showcase or multiple all team showcases is football. So you have the Shrine game, you have the Senior Bowl, you have the North South game, the East West game, like whatever they are.
mhm.
After the bowl season is over, for guys to get an extra look at from the NFL. But there's really not anything like that. Even what is it? High school basketball has like the McDonald's All American game or whatever, or used
Mhm.
to, and their own dunk contest.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but there's really not anything like that anymore for college basketball or college hockey. It's really only football, I think.
And even the football guys,
Baseball gets a summer league.
they yeah, I mean they have a bunch of different summer leagues, so it
Yeah.
just I think you guys play in the Northwoods League though. You have a team
Yep.
over there. Yeah, so it's same as Duluth, but um it
Actually,
would be kind of,
Kalamazoo beat Duluth last year, and then in the, I believe it was actually the championship,
well,
or
well,
the
good for them.
or right before the championship. I know we played them at least either the semifinals or the finals, and either way we won both because Kalamazoo Growlers were the Northwoods champions last year.
Well, those are fun games to go to, but I think the difference between the Senior Bowl and the East West and everything, it's guys that are trying to get another look and try to up their draft stock, where you're not going to have um like the NHL, they're trying to do another World Cup of hockey and get that back because they don't want our players going over to the Olympics anymore and all of that. So, but that's the best of the best from the league and from their country. So it would be fun to see a best of the best of each conference and just put them up against each other. Um, I think you're probably going to see the same teams winning over and over again, or same conferences winning over and over again because there are the have and have nots, and I think it's Atlantic hockey usually ends up just getting one team in the tournament, maybe two if they're lucky, depending on if a non-conference regular season winner wins the tournament. Uh, but it's just kind of a fun idea to throw out there, just because I think a lot of people would enjoy it, and I don't know what the prize would be. You'd have to give the kids some incentive, but you also don't want to get them hurt.
Right.
That's the other thing, is they have their careers in front of them still, and these are going to be the top of the top. They want to make it to the NHL. They want to have long careers in the NHL. You
Plus, I
don't want to
mean,
put them at risk.
that and they go right to their pro team at the end of the year, whether
Hmm.
they make the net. As soon as they're done in the tournament, they're signing contracts and moving on. So not a
I
lot
mean,
of there's no off season acquisitions or draft really going on to where those things would matter. The draft it is at the end of the year or in the off season of hockey, but
hmm
you play college as a drafted player. You're not playing college hockey to get drafted.
right.
You're not. I mean, you're hoping for an opportunity to be an unsigned free agent or undrafted free agent, but you can sign that contract in the middle of the year, as we've seen with a few players. You can sign it at the end of the year. Uh, it's the opportunity to be called up to a pro team. Kind of is a 365 day opportunity. So it makes sense.
Maybe they could do it as like a little warm up for some of the players as a preseason tournament, kind of the weekend before everything gets going. Teams are practicing, but then just do it as somehow just change it up every year and do a kind of a you play two games, and then whoever has the best record and goal differential out of the two games that you play against the other two. I don't know how you do it. Then the top teams face off. I don't know. It's too much planning for me, but you could maybe do it as a preseason thing and get people hyped up for the college hockey season. That would make the most sense on when to do it. I just don't know how you'd pull it off. And my guess is, which I don't blame them, uh, six out of the six conferences would shoot that idea down
Yeah,
unless you could get them a lot of money. Um, ESPN would probably give them a lot of money to do it, but that's the only reason that they would do it. The coaches would not like it.
I'm just hoping Three Ice comes back for the summer. That was fun. Um, do. All right,
Okay.
on to
Yep.
on to this weekend. I guess we can just go by start times, which would put the first game on the weekend a 3-4 matchup in the NCHC standings. Number 3 Omaha visiting Western Michigan University, looking for a little bit of revenge for the series that took place in Omaha in December, where Western was swept by the Mavs. Both teams coming in having swept their opponent last weekend. Western could say had a tougher opponent in Colorado College. I will say Western had a tougher opponent in Colorado College than Omaha had in Miami, but Omaha played well enough to secure those wins and didn't overlook their opponent.
And actually, both teams are riding 4-game win streaks.
Omaha has a 5-game win streak. Western has a 6-game win streak.
I was going to say, I know that they at least swept their last two series, both teams, because we were on the receiving end of one of them.
Did. There is Omaha is currently in third place, 2 points ahead of Western at 27 points to Western's 25. They have a the same conference record of 8-5-1. We know the story here. Western's high-powered offense. They've scored 54 goals in conference play, 112 goals on the season overall. whether or not you slow down that first line, which Omaha was able to do, I believe, in at least one of the games in Omaha, there's other lines that are going to pick up and contribute to goal scoring here. And it's hard to shut down an entire team. You have to play really good defense. You have to have really good goaltender play. Omaha is capable of that. Western, both teams are riding high. As how much of a factor can the Lunatics be? I believe the Saturday game is close to, if not selling out or sold out. Last I saw, there was like 3 random seats still available for that one. A few individual tickets for Friday night. So it's going to be a bump in place. It's going to be high energy. Teams playing really, really well. It'll come down to, the ability to capitalize on mistakes, the ability to limit mistakes of your own, and really just playing within yourself and playing a good, solid hockey game for either of these teams to win. And it's a split doesn't help or hurt either team. It gives potentially Colorado College an opportunity, but they have a big task of their own to potentially sneak back up into the home ice area of the standings. But it's honestly just gonna be good, great hockey. The Friday game starts at 7. The Saturday game starts at 6, as Western has been doing all year. Those games are available on NCHC TV.
I
I
think I think Western's gonna be a lot more comfortable being at home because no one ever seems to play well at Omaha, and we've talked
Yeah.
about this. There's just something about
The
that
last
building.
trip Omaha made here was in last year's playoffs, and Western swept, taking the first game off on a Luke Granger hat trick. The second game came to overtime and came down to a goal being scored on a faceoff in their own zone. So Western swept Omaha the last time they were here in the playoffs. Western has the ability to do it again, but like I said, it's a matter of staying out of the box, playing good, solid defense, helping out Cameron, not giving turnovers in the worst part of the ice, and leaving it, hanging him out to dry, even though you only did it twice on the weekend. But Omaha's a good team, and you've really got to be able to keep pressure on him, and the offense, which has been clicking all year, needs to continue to do such. But it'll be the defensive play of Western Michigan that'll be the Achilles heel, if there is one.
No, I got nothing else to follow up with that on.
Some North Dakota at Miami. Friday night's game is the CBS Sports Network game.
Dear God,
I
I know
think
we said this last week.
if the schedule makers had known now, or known then what we know now, this probably would not be the CBS Sports Network game. You got to have a game for every team. I think
Well,
they try to do one in every arena, but
I think I think even if they, I mean, even them knowing then what they thought it was going to be, you're really going to put Miami on CBS Sports Network. I know not everyone has it and everything. If you thought North Dakota was going to be as good as everyone kind of thought they were going to be, or like at least nationally, you don't put Miami on there. It's not going to look pretty. Now this is just going to be, I don't even want to watch any of it. I'll probably put it on anyway because it starts a half an hour earlier, but it's again, North Dakota, they're coming into a matchup against a struggling team and they're struggling too. It's just that Miami is struggling way harder than they are. And ugh, that's just, it's important for North Dakota matchup wise in the standings. Um, it's as it sits right now, they get Denver in Denver, which is not fun, and they're only 1 point behind UMD. So every game is going to be important for them to try and move up in the standings. So they're going to be playing hard. Miami's just trying to, well, score a goal. It's just not going to be a good game, though. It's
No.
just going to be kind of ugly hockey.
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting confused with the schedule. Like it's real wonky here. Um, yeah, no, I mean it's 7 versus 8. Miami could steal one here though. North Dakota has not been playing well.
No, they they could absolutely steal one. And I mean, not that they have a real home ice advantage in Miami, but as far as crowd goes, but they are at home.
They are the home team. Saying, North Dakota's a wounded animal out there. The battle of the birds. Battle of the Hawks.
Yeah, the Battle of the Hawks. One, one's fighting, one's red.
Yeah, both got at least one broken wing out there. Uh just
I
flapping
think
in
Miami,
circles.
I think Miami has two broken legs and a broken wing.
But that's I mean it's a game that's got to be played. Like I said, Miami could
Yes,
could
it
come
does.
away could come away with some points here. I'm not saying they sweep North Dakota, but
They could at least get him in overtime and steal a win, but they could get. I could see overtime for both of them.
I think it's got to be a get it right weekend for North Dakota if they're going to have any shot at potentially trying to steal home ice or really make a run at a tournament.
Hmm.
A little bit of an in-state rivalry between St. Cloud and Minnesota Duluth in Duluth this weekend. This series was a very important series last year. I mean, like it came down to these two teams trying to figure out who was going to be the last team for home ice. St. Cloud ended up winning the regular season series to get home ice. Didn't really matter as Duluth came down and smacked him in the mouth and knocked him out of the frozen face-off tournament. But it came down to that last weekend and that last game to figure out who is going to be where for seeding, and this was one of
Hmm.
those matchups that came down to that final weekend.
And I believe 5 out of the 6 games that we played last year went to overtime. I believe the only one that didn't was game one of the first round of the NCHC, and Rennick was sick, so Castor had to play, and I don't think he honestly played that poorly. St. Cloud fans seem to disagree. I thought it was more of a team thing on their side that UMD we just outplayed them. Second game, Castor played like he's been playing this year. He played really well, and the team actually picked it up. Little bit different story this year. I think the compete is going to be there just because um, we have built up this rivalry now with St. Cloud State. I don't know how in the hell we keep getting put our series up in Duluth is the earlier series because it seems like the last 3 or 4 years. Well, there's of course one year where it didn't really matter, but um, we're always playing the last series of the year in St. Cloud, and I don't know how that keeps happening. Uh,
Should switch. I
but
think you played the last series in Duluth last year. It should
was it?
flip. It should flip flop every year.
It should. It just seems like it didn't, but that could just because it was a little closer for me to go to St. Cloud. Um, but this is a different story. These are two different teams. We're a lot younger team. St. Cloud is a more experienced team. Obviously, the number one team in the country coming in. Uh, I think Amsoil is going to be a little bit more riled up just because St. Cloud is number one. I think the boys are going to be wanting to show that, hey, we're a better team than where we are. I I think we could get one just because it's kind of one of those typical rivalry games now where it doesn't really matter where you are in the standings. The other team can come steal one from you. I still think we're going to be lucky to get one. Um, I kind of see a sweep for North Dakota or for St. Cloud. I was looking at North Dakota when I said that, but I think we could get one as UMD just stay out of the box.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
and don't let them in the box because they can score shorthanded too.
yeah. I mean, St. Cloud looked really good last week. UMD came out and played really well the Saturday game. Hopefully, they can ride a little bit of that momentum. There is a big target on St. Cloud's back, being that number one team. The standings don't matter as soon as the puck hits the ice. But there is something to you do get up a little bit more for that game against the number one team, and like we said earlier, there's been a lot of number one teams to have fallen this year, and make no mistake, Minnesota Duluth is a team that can do it. We're getting to that part of the year where they seem to find an extra notch and play some incredible hockey down the stretch. They're not far outside of that home ice spot. Once again, they are sitting sixth, but they're just as
Mhm.
deadly as any of the teams ahead of them. They've just got to figure out how to play their brand of hockey again, and this could be the series to jumpstart it.
Yeah, it needs to be a team game, and that's when they are at their best. Uh, I'd seen Bruce Siski, the UMD play-by-play announcer, and he said, where was that tweet? It was, I'll find it because it was about UMD's shooting percentage. And okay, he said UMD's possession numbers are trending ahead of last season's. I would argue there's more scoring talent on this roster than they had last year. So why is their scoring output down? We're 57th nationally, fifth from the bottom in shooting percentage of 7.4.
Oof, you're hitting everything
So
but the twine.
yeah, we do have that ability to score. It's just eh, we
You
have played some good goalies, but
you also have an incredible ability to score on yourselves.
hey, you only did it once, but that was a beautiful goal. It was impressive.
It was, considering you guys were about to go on the power play.
Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm.
let's see here. For whatever reason, Colorado College and Denver are playing one game this weekend, Friday at Denver. The rest of this series we will talk about later because it will be in Colorado on Saturday, February 4th.
I th-
Um,
this one they're playing it at Ball Arena.
yeah, I don't. You know what? It's whatever. They're weird. It's honestly the dumbest thing I've seen in the schedule since some of the COVID stuff we had to deal with. But yeah, they're playing one game this weekend. There will be 4 games Friday, 3 games Saturday. Next weekend, February 3rd and 4th, is kind of slim pickings for games. We'll talk about those
Mhm.
next week. I think, I mean, it being only a 1 game series, both teams coming off of being swept, it's another weekend where we see two teams that have gotten swept playing against each other. I think it's the only series that way. The other one is both teams having swept, being Western and
Mhm. Yes.
Omaha,
Yes, it is.
two teams that swept each other playing each other, or that two teams that swept playing each other. Um,
Mhm.
Everybody else has an opponent that's split. So, what Colorado College has to respond from the offensive force they faced in Western Michigan. Denver's another really good offensive team. They're trying to shake off being swept by St. Cloud. It should be, honestly, I think that one will be a lot closer than games have been between those two teams as of late. And Berko does a lot to help that team be better. Uh, you you know that you have to stay out of the box against Colorado College. It was one thing Western did really well. They limited power play opportunities, and when they were on the power play or the PK, they did a really good job of making sure that Hunter McCown did not hurt them. I don't think he scored a single goal last weekend. They did not give up a single power play goal. It could go really either way. I think standing wise, everybody is who's not Denver is pulling for Colorado College just to get Denver a little bit further away from that number one spot. So, Duluth and Colorado College probably have a few more fans than they usually do on a weekend. But that game kind of
Yeah.
feels more of a coin flip than it has in years past. Usually, years past, we look at that and go, oh, well, there's a Denver win. I don't know that we can say that this year.
I 100% don't think we can say that this year. I think eh, UMD fan, yeah, we want Denver to lose, but I honestly think UMD fans are probably pulling for Denver just because we're only 4 points back from Colorado College, and we want to leapfrog them. But uh,
Hey, you just do your job and beat
it,
St. Cloud, all right?
I realize that, but yeah, 100%. This Colorado College team, they're playing with a lot of confidence this year. I think it does help having Umberto there, and not to say anything bad about Bassie and then Matt Vernon and who they're gonna have come in. Umberto is just giving them that confidence, and yeah, they got swept by Western. They know Western's a high powered offense. They know it can happen. They realize they can be swept by anybody in this league, but they also know that they could sweep anybody in this league. And so I think it's going to be a really good game. I think out of all the games on Friday, I think this is going to be the most entertaining one. Um, I,
Mm, I don't know. I think Omaha Western's going to be probably the
I
matchup of the weekend.
as far as the weekend, yes, I just think as far as Friday goes, my eyes would be more pulled towards Denver and Colorado College. Uh, just well, partly because Umberto. I just love watching that kid play. He's just so good. Um, but then watching him try to shut down this Denver offense and them trying to shut down this Denver offense. Uh, and I think it's going to be a battle of styles whose will is going to impose itself more versus I think Colorado College wants to slow it down a little bit more and bait Denver into stupid penalties, but Denver will want to run and gun a little bit more like they have, even though they can play the slower style.
I mean, I'll definitely pay attention to the game. But honestly, I think of all the matchups, I think Omaha Western is the one is the key matchup of this weekend. I think it's going to be the most entertaining to watch. I think both teams play with a lot of speed. Both teams like to hit. It'll be interesting to see how Western responds. Yeah, you have a couple of the rivalry weekends in St. Cloud, Minnesota Duluth, but
Hmm.
it's not a Duluth team that we've seen in the past. There's something going on with that team. North Dakota Miami is definitely not the series we expected it to be. That one could be closer. I mean, that one could go a lot of ways. It could be closer than we think. It could be an offensive explosion by somebody. Like those two teams are so inconsistent and volatile at the moment that who knows what's going to happen there. It's not, it's kind of in the same situation that the Denver Colorado College is, but on the other end of the spectrum, where
Hmm.
Colorado College and Denver are both playing so good that we don't know what's really going to happen there. Where North Dakota and Miami are playing so bad, we have no idea what's going to happen there. St. Cloud State, Minnesota Duluth feels more like a North Dakota Miami series used to feel, where like we can
Hmm.
almost assume that St. Cloud State's gonna win, but there could be an upset and a surprise coming from Duluth, much like there used to be a surprise from Miami every once in a while against North Dakota. But the Omaha Western game, it just seems like both of these teams are so close to each other in the standings, in play style. Uh, the compete is there. We know that Lawson's going to be an incredible atmosphere. All of those things make me want to say that if you're going to watch one series this weekend and you have NCHC TV, watch Western Omaha. You have the number one offense in the country in Western Michigan. You've got a team that's both teams putting together an incredible run. Somebody has to lose Friday. We'll see which streak falls. But that's the series that I think should draw the most attention this weekend.
Yeah, and that's fair. But the one thing that I like about everything is just the times are a little bit different. So, um, you have a half hour difference between the Omaha Western start. They're the earliest. Half hour it's North Dakota Miami, which I'll maybe throw it on. But then I have an hour before St. Cloud and UMD start. Then another hour before Colorado College and Denver start. And so then it's nice I can have the others on the side, but then bring up the bigger one and in between periods and just pick and choose. And that is one feature that I do like about NCHC TV is you can you have multiple different options on how you want to view the games.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll get to watch most of that Colorado College Denver series after Omaha Western wraps up, at least Friday night. So that
Mm-hmm.
I think that'll about do it. I think we've covered all the games. We've covered all the players who are up for Hobie Baker. Go and vote for those players. Again, you have one vote every day. It resets at midnight. You do have to sign in with some kind of email account. Who knows what exactly the fan vote counts for, but it's fun to do. Support your players. You get one vote. So pick one. For the Western one, is really hard to distinguish between the three, but I do lean slightly towards Poland. At this point, I feel that he's a more well-rounded player. I think McAllister still has some developing to do, but he can get there. And I mean, if he stays, I don't see him not being and plays the way he did this year. Next year, I don't see him not being a nominee again next year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, do that. If you feel so inclined, hit the like, hit the follow. We greatly appreciate you having you here. Again, we're on Twitter. Our personal handles are under our pictures. They've been there the whole time. The page's Twitter handle is scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now. The Gmail account for the page will be scrolling after that. You can use either of those to get a hold of us or leave a comment in the comment section below under that like and subscribe buttons that you can push, or the dislike button if you feel that's the button you want to push. I think that's it.
I think so too.
Unless you can read my hat, which is super small font. But the only thing left to say is pucks on net, good things happen, like goal horns and fight songs. Till the next episode, we will catch you later. Have a good one. We're out of here. Goodbye.